And really, really grateful to welcome Vince here. Vince was a caregiver for his wife who was living with dementia. He participated in 2 CAMH-based studies and has been diagnosed with mild cognitive impairment. He's here to share his lessons gleaned from his various intersections with dementia and MCI. So can I welcome Vince to the stage?
Okay, thank you for having me here. A small introduction, age 83 years, father of 2, education, no healthcare, but I have degree in engineering. I have been working in project management, in food industry, validation of pharmaceutical plants, research in environmental studies. From healthcare, as a ski patroller for 20 years, I was providing first aid to injured people, nothing to do with dementia. Now, let's go to dementia. First, I was told that dementia is a set of symptoms which include loss of memory, understanding and judgment, change of moods, and few other. Now, my wife, very lovely lady, some 7-8 years ago did show up some of the symptoms. So we see that she's not completely okay. So I took her to her family doctor. She did some assessment and referred her to psychiatrist. He did check her. We were there about every 3 months. And he diagnosed her to have Alzheimer's disease. It did progress slowly, but it did progress, so later on she was referred to geriatric specialist. That is where I learned something about dementia and what to do and how to look after her. I took also some course provided by Alzheimer's Society, Halton. So that is where my knowledge of dementia is. And telling it very briefly what I have learned, well, you know much more than I do, but I was told that the really cure for dementia is next to nothing. There are many medications have been tried, but rather limited success. But I was told what you can do is slow down progress of dementia by being physically or mentally active. So that is what I did with my wife. We have done many other physical activities, some exercise. Example, I had a rowing machine back home. So set up rowing machine, I went on it and I show her and then say, oh darling, do you want to try? And since she had a trust in me and she saw it, that was not very difficult to convince her to go there. Sometimes she would go automatically, sometimes I would take shower, come back, and she was on the rowing machine. When I took her to gym, because we did go to gym before now, there was a waiting area, she would sit down, then she see people exercising, she know that I was exercising, so when I tell her, darling, do you want to try? No problem, so keep her active. We did go for a walk around house and so that was, I kept her physically active. For mental activity, we did work together. Before she used to read and so, but the symptoms were such that she stopped more or less. So we did some exercise like solving Sudoku or some puzzles and so. And again, first I bought a book with maybe hundreds of Sudokus. at the beginning those easier and gradually more difficult. So I did show her how these numbers go horizontally, vertically, and we did some together. After then, she managed to take her own, and I saw that she felt some accomplishment, so it was nice for her. What else we did? Anyway, as time progressed, her condition got worsened, and so she ended up in hospital, and so. Now that brain function, as it deteriorates, go down, but it doesn't stop completely. And there are moments or area where suddenly some function can be at high level. Now here is example. This was maybe 6 weeks before she passed away. Suddenly she said, "Oh, I want the house." I didn't know what a house. I talked to family. We couldn't identify what house. They thought maybe it is house somewhere in Manila where she grew up. Didn't work that way. Anyway, she just asked, "Let's go and see it." So I said, "Yeah, you have to show me where. I don't know where it is." So we went to underground parking, get car out, and she showed me turn right, get on Bristol, turn left, Ontario, turn right, Eglinton, and get around, and got back to our condo. But she didn't guide me to underground parking. She guided me to front end. And we stopped there, and she said, "Look here is my house." So you see, even that brain function was from many aspects working low, suddenly this working very well. So that brain has such property. Another case, this was really 2 days before she passed away. At that time, she was most of the time sleeping, and I couldn't recognize was it sleeping or if she was unconscious. But from time to time, she opened eyes, and the facial expression was that she wants to be with us. Anyway, one time I was there, and I said, "Oh, hi, darling." And she started moving hand there. I said, "Oh, and she moved again. She did exactly what we did in gym. She followed my instructions. So suddenly the brain did perform. But unfortunately, 2 days later, it was over. So this was my experience with looking for a patient with dementia. Any questions? No. Okay. So now I'm going to talk briefly about mild cognitive impairment. Now, do you have a cognitive impairment? Well, if you are of age, geriatric age, that is 65 or plus, probably yes. This impairment comes some people earlier, some later. But again, similar as in dementia, the one way to slow down that progress is again being physically and mentally active. So what to do? You can go exercise, go walk around house, maybe running, go to gym, and if you don't know what kind of exercise, most gym are having instructor which can help anybody to do the exercise, and then to do mental activity. Now, about exercise, one warning. Before anybody is referred to it or you do get an assessment, your doctor, you don't want to end up with heart attack. One more, some exercise can hurt you. Be careful. especially running, which is very popular. You see on street many people jogging there, and so when you are having good running shoes and don't hit the ground with your heel, you can damage your knees. Another common error is when you are lifting. Keep your back straight. When you are going down, more like swat, lift, but keep your back straight so you want prevent hurting yourself. Now, mental exercise. Again, there are so many puzzles available, and so reading, and maybe join a chess club. So there are ways how to keep mentally active. Now, how to live when you are doing it, but still that mild cognitive impairment is there, so how to organize your life. That is what I see. Well, first start your morning with your warm-up. Get your blood circulation through whole body. That is useful for your body, regardless of MCI or not. Now, next, organize your house such a way. For example, putting your blister packs somewhere near where you breakfast or dinner so you don't miss it, you get your medication. When you are going shopping, make a list or at least mentally prepare where you are going, what you are going, where are you going. So you don't want to end up dinner and run out of beer, of course. So there are ways to keep memory, helping your memory. Another example would be you have lots of bills and credit card statement, you know that. So let's put them somewhere near computer in pile up, but such that the one which is next due is on top. You keep look, oh yes. Another things which help your life organize, you go to your car. Automatically, when you are starting, have a look at fuel gauge, so you know that you are going to pay carbon tax. And so, evening, put your cell phone and charge and somewhere where it is easy spot that your email and hearing aid are being charged. So that is how you do about mild cognitive impairment. Well, what else? I said that would be. Next, I'm going to talk my experience. I participated in 2 memory studies. First one, some 4 or 5 years ago, and study lasted for 4 years here at CAMH. It was in the building which doesn't exist anymore. And there was beginning, we got cognitive clinical assessment, quite detailed, and then group of 4, we came once a month, and we were shown some mental exercise. We were given computer software, I think called Happy Neurons. Some of you might know that software. And we were supposed to, and we were told to do this exercise every day and go. And once a month, when it came to CAMH, they would look at it and review and so, and give us encouragement to do it again. And this was going on. Then, twice a year, we got again more detailed clinical assessment. So that is why they see what progress or degradation of memory was. That was one study. I think it was very useful, and I hope that my participation and doing it all what I was instructed, I contributed a little bit to success of that study. Now, I was just rather recently, 2 months ago, another study here where objective of study was to find if electrical impulses on brain can modify your brain performance. Now, I said that medication is not very useful, not available really. You know that more. Anyway, so again, there was very detailed clinical assessment, tests like sheet of paper with numbers 1 through 25 randomly, and we are supposed to connect them, and it was timed. Then numbers and letters A, B, 2, B, 3, C, and so, and again connecting them in sequence, and again timing. So they knew how we were performing, or I was, because all this research was done on one-to-one basis. There was not group of people. There were other participants, but doing actual exercise was individually. There were many others. Some exercise, like on screen, there were flashing letter, plus sign, and so. And at the time when letter show up, push the button. When it was plus sign, ignore, and push, and push, and push. Then it became a little bit more difficult. There was some memory part of it added. Watching when letter and next letter was same, we could push much button, otherwise no much button. And going again for some 15 minutes. Then we did it more difficult. Looking the letters, but skip one letter. So letter which one in position 3 versus letter in position 1. If they were same, push much button, otherwise push no much button, and continue again. Then it became even more difficult, just why not? We skip two letters, and again pushing much button or no much, and then skipping 3. I don't know whoever managed to really do it well. I did not. Now, there was one interesting, which I think, because I will say a few words about it later, 2-digit, 3-digit, and 4-digit number were flashing on computer screen. And there was much, if 2 numbers in sequence were same, push the button. And go right, push button when it, otherwise don't do anything. Then there was 3-digit doing it same way. And then 4-digit. Now, I didn't do it because my sight is poor. Actually, I was cheating a little bit on 3-digit because I couldn't recognize all 3 digits. So I simply ignored first digit and doing it. And I told them, but what can I do? Now, after this test and assessment, come main portion of really of this study, main part. That is, I was putting electrode net with 64 electrodes around the head, and there was making electrical connection. And also, there was a test here on the hand. And then, I was putting these electrical impulses at a 10-second interval for 30 minutes, so it would make 180 impulses. And doing it for 10 days. After 10 days, we were going through clinical assessment again. So hopefully they would see if any difference was there. And months later, we were going through clinical assessment again. So hopefully something will come. Maybe your session 2 is talking about some medication and cure. Hopefully somebody can give you more information about that. What else? I think this is what I feel. Now, I don't try to tell you what to do. Oh, there is one item I will. It is more how I receive, how I view that what you were trying to do with me. Now, about those 4 digits. Yeah. One part here is vision is a sensory vision, part of peripheral nerve system. Brain and spine is part of central nerve system. Now, if peripheral nerve system doesn't provide proper information, brain cannot process it. So my suggestion is consider when you are designing test or procedure for test, consider that you avoid or at least minimize poor performance of peripheral nerve system. Any more questions? No more. Okay, that is my, thank you very much. Have a nice day.
So I'd like to thank you, Vince, for that really inspiring talk. I really touched to the heart of what we need to do and your positive attitudes. I was particularly interested in what you had to say about exercise, which I think is another area that we really want to understand how exercise can help. We know it's beneficial for depression, we know it's beneficial for dementia, and I think over the next 5 to 10 years we really want to understand why and how we can tap into that. So that was such a emotional, positive talk. Thank you.